Hey guys, good morning. Okay, so the first step is I'm going to have 8 signatures. So I have 8 solid sheets, the solid sheets of cardstock out of my paper pack that I got. And I added a creamy color that went with everything as well. But I've got 8 solid sheets of 12 by 12 paper. And then I divided up the other papers that I picked out or are from the paper pack, and I cut them to 9 inches. So my book is basically going to be 6 by 9. Okay, you can make yours any size you want. Then what I did was I'm going to need 4 signatures with 2 sheets each, and 4 signatures with 4 sheets each. So I went ahead, and now one of the cardstocks, that's one of the 2 pieces. I've put this with this. I like the combination, so that's one of my sets of 2. And then I have this one for my next set of 2, and I really like that one. And then this one for my next set of 2, and this one for my next set of 2. So that's that. And then I have sets of 4, so I have this, 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 and this, so that makes 4. Okay. This, that's a little thicker, this and this, have this, and this, and then I have these 4 sheets. Okay, so that's what you're going to need to do next, is pick out your cardstock that you're going to use, 8 solid sheets. Now, if you don't want them to be solid, that's fine. It's just, you know, if you're going to use this as part journal, having more solid sheets will incorporate more journaling space. And then when you have your decorated sheets, it lends itself more to the mini album. So, and then, of course, some of these cardstocks are double-sided, and most of these papers are single-sided, so there's a lot of journaling space going to be there. Okay, so that's your next step. We'll see you for the next one. Bye. Okay, so you've chosen your papers, you've cut them down to the 9-inch or whatever you've decided to do. Now you're going to mesh them together. You have 4 of the 2 pages and 4 of the 4 pages. So at this point, what you want to do is, if you want to put 2 of the 2 pages together, and then 2 of the 4 pages together, and however you want to do it. I did 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2. That's how I did it. Mainly because of what I wanted to be at the beginning of the book. This is my first page, and I just went from there. I didn't want it to be too busy, but I did want it to kind of set the tone for what the book looked like. For the most part. So, having said that, that's what you have to figure out now, is how you want things set up. And then from then on, you're going to leave that setup together as you move forward, because you're always wanting to build on top of this. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and now what we're going to do is get everything scored. So, first page, what we're doing now is we're introducing a gusset into our journal. Okay, so we're making the mini album pages for a journal. I'm using a 1/4 inch gusset or an 1/8 of an inch gusset. The 4 pages get a 1/4 inch gusset. The 2-page group signatures get an 1/8 of an inch gusset. I'm doing 5 3/4 and 6, or sometimes I'm doing 6 and 6 1/4. Either way, one side of the paper is going to be 6 inches, so that is the main width of my book. And then there's going to be one that's 5 3/4, which I can build up to 6, however. So, and I'm just kind of randomly doing this. I do want this first page to be a full page, and this is the side of my first page, so I'm going to make this 6 and 6 1/4. Now remember, this paper, and this is paper, this is like copy paper, it's very thin. Don't push hard, you will push through the book. Then this one, I'm going to do the same thing, 6 and 6 1/4. Reason being is these are very thin papers, and this will give the first page a little more depth. This one is 6 and 6 1/4. I had already done this one. Then this, all we're going to do right now on these is we're going to score it at 9. Now the reason we're doing this is at this point I can fold both of these up and make a pocket on each side. I can fold one up this way and one behind and make a pocket that way. I can turn it this way and cut it at the 9 and have a flap this way or a flap the other way. So right now all I'm doing is, until I figure out what I want to do for each of these, or it's just going to get cut off and it's just going to be a plain sheet, you know, plain 6 this way and 5 3/4 this way. Alright, so right now all I'm doing is scoring this at 9. Now this one is more of a cardstock one. I'm going to go the 5 3/4. That's not the reason I'm doing this. I'm just, like I said, I'm trying to be a little random. Oh shoot. This is the 2-point. Okay, don't do what I just did. When you do something like this, it doesn't always work, but it does help. You're going to get something. Well, I've got a board underneath here. I'm going to get my bone folder. This is my Teflon one. And I'm going to rub that out as best I can. And I have a mat underneath this paper, so I've got a nice, smooth, hard surface. And just rub. And the nice thing with the Teflon is it makes no marks on the paper. If you have a regular bone folder, I would suggest doing this pretty lightly, but there, it's still there, but it's smoothed out, so you got to kind of look for it. Alright, so now this, remember, I'm doing 4 pages, 2 pages, 4 pages, 2 pages, 4 pages, 2 pages. My 4 pages is a 1/4 inch. My 2 pages is an 1/8 of an inch. So I want 5 7/8 instead of what I was doing, 5 3/4. So for this, I'm going to do 5 7/8 and 6. Okay. And again, with the regular cardstock, I'm just doing it at 9. Now this is another 4, so this is at 1/4 inch. And this time I'm going to, I keep losing my side of the ball I want. 5 3/4 and 6. Five and 3/4 and 6. These are all very thin papers, so I'm doing them all the same. 5 3/4 and 6. And then my cardstock at 9. So I'm not going to make you watch all the rest of it. I think you get the idea. This is, well, see, now I already had scored this one, but yet I put it in as a 2. So I'm just going to do the best I can. Of course, one of these, oh, there we go. One of these is going to be used anyway, but the other one is not. And you can barely see them now. There we go. Okay. Huh. Okay. So this one is going to be 6 and 6 1/8. Sorry. There we go. So 6 and 6 1/8. This is a little more cardstock, so I did it twice. So you've got the idea now. Your 2s get an 1/8 inch gusset. Your 2-page signatures. Your 4-page signatures get a 1/4 inch gusset. You're either going to do it 5 3/4 and 6, or 6 and 6 1/4. And then the 2-page signatures are going to be 5 7/8 and 6, or 6 and 6 1/8. So either one of those. So that's your assignment. Go ahead and get all those done, and then I'll be back to see you.